Hello, Steve here. Welcome to Real Health. Who'd have thought health is about what we're eating? Join me on my quest to disseminate my go-to health regimen, the Health 44, my clumsy branding of eliminating 4 classes of food, introducing 4 classes of micronutrients. Bingo, bongo, health sorted. So thank you for your interest. Let's do this. Hello there. Healing. You've clicked on it. Here's my version, my take, my prescription, what I'm advocating to the world on what healing really is. Whatever malady, I feel like I was in a Thunderbirds show just then. Whatever malady you have, disease, autoimmune issue, dietary, whatever. Healing, for what I advocate for, is addressing your micronutrient deficiencies. I talk about a 3 or 4 month chance to give yourself a chance, 3 or 4 months for your body to take up more micronutrients. But the full healing of 20 years, 40, 60 years of standard Western diet needs some time. I would suggest that being in my 4th year of what I do here, the Health 44, used to be the 44 with a twist of dairy and egg. Then I called it the Keto 44. And then I had to get away from keto, carnivore, vegan, all that sort of diatribe stuff, because what I advocate for can be done on any type of diet, even the mainstream diet, cutting out the crap. But in my humble opinion, it is easier on keto, carnivore, paleo type diets. Whole food, yes, vegans can do it, but my internal reasoning jury is still a little bit deliberating on the vegan part. Vegans have some good arguments. So do the carnivores and the keto people, the pescatarian, the opportunistic omnivores, others. And so what I prescribe, what I advocate for, what I propose for the rest of the world's population is to get nourished with the micronutrients that we require. We need 90 declared essential micronutrients. It takes a little while for the uptake to be dependable. We need to heal our gut, which is code in what I advocate for, is repairing the villi in your small intestine. The villi in your small intestine does most of the absorption of your micronutrients. And these days we need to supplement. And as I need to do, as I feel I need to do in all my episodes, is that I need to describe my regimen, the Health 44. The first 4, the 44, the Health 44, is elimination. Elimination of 4 food categories: gluten, oils, sugars, nitrates, nitrites. There's some nuances in there. Other episodes carry the nuances. And then add 4 categories of the micronutrients: the 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 2 essential fatty acids. A few months, you'll start getting the benefits. And over 1, 2, or 3 years, your gut, your cells have barely 2 months of shelf life, most of our cells, but the whole physiology improves over time. Mine was very sudden and significant. Others have been a bit slower, but the benefits are okay. So if any of this resonates with you, in the link tree, in the show notes, you can reach out, whatever. I've thought about how to provide you with all this. There's this way, free, and then there's focused in other ways. And I always say, if I had $1 million, I would drop $900,000 to go from the ill health that I suffered before to the healthy self I have now. So you can do it for free as well. Okay, so it's all out there. But if at some point things aren't working, we need to look at your specific case, the nuances, the misunderstandings in what you need to do. And yes, it can be quite significant, the errors that people make. I even made errors weeks and months into my what I'm doing now. But it was ironed out, and there's no food cravings for me anymore, alcohol or smoking. My half a dozen chronic illnesses, diseases, resolved. One of them in the first 4 days, carpal tunnel, shoulder pain and finger impairment, sorted very quick. It can be done. So healing takes on a pretty large scope, but on the surface, the main thing, the primary, the chassis, is addressing your micronutrient deficiencies, and we need to digest it, increase your salt intake, bile in a bottle, eating enzymes. There's enzymes you can buy in a bottle to help you get off your PPIs if you're on PPIs, if you have esophageal reflux issues, right? Digestion, absorption, the 4 food categories to eliminate, not just to reduce, you need to eliminate. And in recent times, as a personal disclosure, and I'm experimenting for you, is that I've gone off all grain. I may have a tiny bit of grain once or twice a year now. The same for vegetables, fruit, once or twice a year. That's all gone for me. I'm benefiting from that. So that's been a few months off rice and corn as well, and 4 years off fruit and veg as well, because ordinarily 100 years ago, when there wasn't such thing as supplementing, fruit and veg had to be our go-to. And if you're fruit and vegging your way to health now, it's not dependable. The soils are depleted of the minerals that we require, aided by the 3 million dams in the world, which have pretty much mitigated flooding. Flooding used to be a primary way for minerals to get into the farming lands through the sediment produced by the flood. The farmer will just turn the soil into the earth, just make it plantable. Unknowingly, we used to get minerals that way. We also used ash as our fertilizer, and that was another way to get minerals in our foods unknowingly. Yes, in history we used to have lower life expectancies, usually due to birth issues and infant mortality, which is very micronutrient deficient as well. But it's a bit complex. There was people in history that lived much longer than we do now. Even 100 years ago, we hear those statistics of people only lived with a life expectancy of 40, but that statistic is magic when infant mortality rates were sky high. 1 out of 20 stillbirths and that sort of thing. By having 1 in 100 stillbirths, that just boosts the life expectancy rate. Easy pickings for the stats. That's why we quickly went up to 60, 80 life expectancy rate. So, healing is micronutrient deficiencies. What I advocate for and what it should be. If it comes to healing the gut, that comes with adding more salt in your diet and having a low pH, more acid in our gastric juices. We need more acid in our gastric juices to make things work, to digest, and then to absorb those micronutrients that we need to supplement with these days. Many, a regular listener, know about my micronutrient supplier is via longevity. The methodology I deploy to a large extent with my own high efficacy methods in there as well, which is littered throughout all my episodes. So I feel like this may be a short one because I've woken up early and I felt like doing a episode and the household is quiet. So I've made a commitment. When I have a moment, I'm going to pump out an episode. Here it is. So healing, that's what it should be, even if you don't think that's healing. It's essential what I say that healing is, the way I'm trying to advocate for it now. If it comes to things like healing of the bowels, what does that mean? We have this Bristol bowel scale, the 1 to 7 scale. We should be in the slot of a 3. I range from, say, a 3 to a 4. What does 5 look like? Don't know. It's a bit. I think it goes drier the higher it goes. So don't fixate. Don't overthink the bowels and your kombuchas, your sauerkraut, and all that. It's salt that is the easy pickings for your gut, and the only go-to simplistic part about your gut healing, because healing usually they talk about gut healing, is not the microbiome. The microbiome will sort itself out if we decrease the pH of our gastric juices. Last couple of episodes I've indicated how you can do that. Nasogastric tube, test it that way. It's not reliable, it's arduous, and it's just easy to cut out the glutens. So what I'm saying there is, if your pH is less than 1.0, then you could eat your wheat and your other glutens, barley, rye, oats, buckwheat now I think as well. And but only 2% of the population I think is capable. Even if I was capable, if I measured at a 0.9, next time it might be 0.05, and all of a sudden I'm getting a bit of gluten on board, going into my villi, slight damage, less absorption. Perhaps in my recent decrease in caffeine intake, effectively by 95%, also going organic, because the reason why I also advocate for organic coffee is in those hot climates. Caffeine beans grow in those hot climates, don't you know? Harvested, put in those silos. They cool down at night, all that heat, condensation, moisture, mold, right? So that's why I've gone the decaf and the organic route, which is 700% more expensive, I've worked out to be. So that's the route I've taken as not really a healing, but it could fit into the slot of healing where I'll be able to absorb more minerals, because caffeine leaches minerals out of your physiology, same as overwork, oversweating, gym rat, athlete. That's why athletes and hard workers die before their time. Hard coffee drinkers, yes, die before their time, where the minerals aren't reaching your cells, tissues, your physiology, and they just kick the bucket before you're 185 if you're lucky. There are some centenarians out there. 1 in 10,000 in the population will get to be a centenarian, 100 years plus. Back 100 years ago, 120 years ago, when the life expectancy was 40, did you know that there was more centenarians per 10,000? There's now, there used to be, how many fours go into 10,000? 10, let's just say 12 times. There was 12 people per 10,000 that got to be a centenarian back 120 years ago. Now there's only 1 per 10,000. So get your head around that, right? And that feeds into the whole infant mortality rate, which I described earlier. Okay, so healing. Get the micronutrients absorbed, digested, and then absorbed, and getting dependable daily supply, and you will be flabbergasted at the benefits of your health. I have been. I am not unique. We are all of the same type of DNA, physiology, needs. And that's where healing should be at. Addressing our micronutrient deficiencies. Okay? I'll leave it there. If any of this resonates, you better look me up and consume more content. Perhaps if you want to do it on the cheap or free, it's possible. Okay, you can heal. Everybody can heal. Children till the elderly. It's a little bit more difficult for the elderly if you have any birth defects or congenital issues. Like my eyesight was pretty much congenital. That's why my eyes aren't back to 20/20 vision by taking micronutrients. Things that occur much earlier in life are pretty difficult to reverse. I came into this late, at the age of 47, but I've effectively, would like to think so, extended my life by about 3 decades at least, because I was statistically looking at dying at about the age of 63. So, and that was based on my insurance data, the insurance company data, the actuarial tables they take all these figures at. And Gary Brecker was one of those guys. And he doesn't quite understand mineral intake, but he knows there's something. He's got some correlations, but not the best ones like I'm giving you. Okay? So I've been wrapping up a couple of times here. I'll wrap up proper. Until the next time, bye-bye.